We're live from the capital, Gaborone. This is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Komotso Mapani. The headlines. President Advocate Duma Boko says government will continue to monitor flooding situation to save lives. Gaborone Dam full to capacity for the first time since 2000.
And in sport, FNB Premiership weekend games postponed due to bad weather.
Ntaborang Semetlela joins us a little bit later on with sports news. Good evening. President Advocate Duma Boko says government will continue to monitor the situation to make sure that no further lives are lost during the disaster. The president toured Morwa, Odi and Tlukwem villages where some roads are still closed due to flooding. Gifilo Mokhalzane reports.
The country continues to receive heavy rains that have resulted in flooding in many areas. Last week, the downpours were largely in the Khalagadi area, with Kokotsa village at some point registering a record 235 millimeters. The rains have now moved to the southern part of the country, flooding the city and surrounding locations. President Boko this afternoon toured the impacted families and affected areas, with some roads in Tlokweng, Odi and Morwa still closed.
Dipego di supa gore motho yo re latlhegetseng mo go tla go tsena ha re leng teng se re setse re na natso ke motho a le mongwe hela wa ko Manoko. Bothata ja bobedi ke metsi a tlang a hela kana go na la pula e neleng tota batho ba bona ba tlala ba lebile go na la jaaka ko Odi go bonalang gore batho ba ne ba le mo malapeng hela go sena pula epe e kalo e neleng mo tikologong ya bone mo no go ka tshwenya. Me go bogota metsi a tswang go sele melatswana e tlala e bo e tlhatsa go bogora gore jaanong metsi a teng a tlhamalla ko malapeng.
The president says government will at all times during this disaster put people first.
Tswana ba ka ba gakolla gore se ba tshwanetseng ba se be ko pele ke pabalesego ya bone. Ha motho a bona kana go belaesega gore ha le nteng ga ba belesega a kope thuso kana tse dikgato tsa go tsamaela ga go babalesegile ba ba na le ditiro kana ba ba tshwantseng go ya ditirong ha o bona o ka re seemo ga sana sentle tlamela o babalele botshelo ja gago.
The heavy rains come just 2 weeks after the budget speech presentation, presenting new challenges that put a further strain on an economy that is already on a deficit.
Seemo ha di nna jana jano go ra gore le tse dingwe tsene di akantswe kana di rulaganyeditswe di tla tshwanna di boela ha moragonyana go itebagangwe le seemo se se tlhagogileng se se diphatsa se se khopakopetsang matshelo a batho re ba ko pele matshelo re ba ko pele pabalesego ya batho gore se khwama se tla tshwanna ke gore se dirisetswe gone mo ke sone se re se beileng ko pele.
The weather forecast shows that the rains will subside next week, only to come back in March and close down the rainy season with heavy pours in April. Gifilo Mokhatsani, BTV News, Tlokweng.
Different companies and individuals have stepped up to help the government respond to the current rains that have created flooding in some areas of the country. BOTSWANA-China Friendship Association, in collaboration with One Pula Foundation, donated 600 packages of food hampers, while T-Connect gave Starlink gadgets to help the government in its response to the current devastating situation. When receiving the donation this morning at the Office of the President, Assistant Minister for State President Ms. Maipelo Muphuting appreciated the gesture, noting that it will aid the response team to swiftly support and connect with those affected by the flooding, those affected by flooding across the country, especially now.
We're going to give a comprehensive report, like I said, through the minister. There's going to be one channel of communication. And thank you so much to BOTSWANA for their patience. Thank you so much to BOTSWANA for lerato, le tirisanyo mmogo ye ba ntseng ba isupa during this very, very difficult and challenging time as a nation. But what we are seeing hella as a ministry, what we are seeing hella as a government is that Botswana tota re tshwaragane, all hands are on deck, and this can only help us come out bigger, better and stronger as a nation, and obviously more prepared. Although one can never really be too prepared for a disaster, but this has certainly showed us some of the contingency measures that we can put in place prior to the emergency.
We believe that every little bit counts, even a polar, a tabby, and together of efforts can create something powerful. We stand with the government and the peoples of Botswana, and we will continue to contribute to the development of our country.
The beauty about this product is that it can be deployed anywhere within the country. All you need is some power source. It's a very easy install. It can be moved with much ease. Anybody can install it, and you will have very high-speed connectivity within a couple of minutes of you doing the installation. So it's deployable anywhere in the country, and this is why it's so useful for this purpose that we are presenting it for.
Business Botswana President Mr. Neo Ngwako says Business Botswana is setting up a disaster management fund to help the society survive and eventually recover from the damage caused by recent floods. He said this during a meeting with the Minister for State President Mr. Moeti Mohwasa and the Assistant Minister Ms. Maipelo Muputi in Gaborone earlier today. Tsolofelo Tombale reports.
The ongoing heavy rains across the country have left many Botswana displaced and in despair at the damage caused to both their property and their possessions. However, in a showcase of the empathy synonymous with Botswana, the private sector, through their advocacy body, Business Botswana, has declared that they intend to help with funding the disaster relief efforts.
Disaster Management Fund, which is going to be independently governed by a board and have its own independent account. And this is to ensure that there is independence and proper governance structures around that. Mehela se se botlhokwa is we are going to be working hand in hand with the National Disaster Management Committee that is already in existence, that works to mitigate any disaster issues already.
The entity also encouraged its members to provide whatever assistance they can to those adversely affected by the flash floods.
Those business community that have tools, Lady JCB, that can help in terms of clearing any blockages that are creating impediments towards the flow of water and resulting in current floods that we are seeing. Please, let's align and heed this national clarion call, Yahutusa.
The government applauded the charitable response shown by Botswana during the disaster.
Botswana have been coming out strong in their numbers, assisting the neighbor. We've seen even some members of parliament that are taking on multiple hats here. Modi trafficking, ba thusa ba sepodisi to help direct and control traffic, and every Motswana ra bona tata hela gore they're chipping in. Thank you so much to the entire nation. This is a testament of who we are as Botswana. We come together during crises, and this can only make us stronger as a nation.
As the situation continues to evolve, the government has expressed its commitment to adapt and resolve the needs of affected Botswana and are therefore still open for any form of assistance to intensify the relief efforts. Tsolofelo Tombale, BTV News, Gaborone.
Gaborone Dam has reached its full capacity for the first time since 2017, following the current torrential rains. The Chief Executive Officer of Water Utilities Corporation, Mr. Gasilemo Senai, has confirmed in an interview with BTV News earlier on. He says they are currently getting their ducks in a row together with the disaster management team in case the dam spills over.
Bona ya gompieno ra le tamala Gaborone le tetse le mo 100%. Ya ka bona monyewane go supa gore ke itumetse batswana ba sotla ba itumelle seo. Go le ba ka le thata le tamo le satale. La go le tala ke ka 2017. E ka February se mo tala ka 2016. Ka na go ile ya dinewe. Me go somana ga dipula. Mo go diragetseng mo bikinye. Ke one mo dirileng gore le tamo la go rone le oketsegela thata. Dipula tsone tse di rile merwalla e mo ga borone le dikgaolo tse di rena le mo go teng emergency preparedness plan go re ke lana le gore le dira gore re bone ga le tamo le tetse selekanyo se se kana go ka amega dikgaolo tse di he bokete jo bokae ha ile gore in the unlikely event ya gore le tamo le thubege go ka amega dikgaolo di he selekanyo se se kae mme re bona ha ile gore motso tshwana le kgaolo ya village ya ga borone le thabolotse di ho gona le batho bangwe ba dirang di tena gona go bapala le tamogale di kgaolo ingwe tsa metso tshwana lwa tokwe le di kgaolo tsone bo prisons di gaugi thata le noka e leng gore ha tamo e tshala mo go tsone ga o ya go pele ko motshudi go e leng gore noka ya metsi mothabe mothabe e tshala mo boka jaaka boka gompieno e tswa ida o kopana ko ga di kgaolo dingwe di khota dingwe tse di go motshuletswane di ka amega ya thata re lomaganye le ba National Disaster Management Committee le ba District Disaster Management Committee gore re ithulaganya re bona gore mo dontse e leng gore ra di dira go ipakanyetsa demos mo go tshwana le gore re itsise batswana ka tsela e ntseng jang ha ile gore go na thata mpudi a harelwa kana go tare batswana ba bangwe ba tsibusiwe gore ngwe ba huduge ba e kweleng gore go ba balesegile teng.
Some parts of the city of Francistown have not been spared by the floods, with the most affected areas being Ngilichi Residentials, Nche, BZ, Monarch, Block 7 and Tati River plots. These areas are situated along the Tati River that passes through Francistown. The District Commissioner, who is also the chairperson of the Local Disaster Management Committee, Ms. Chabongwa Matsega, said that since this morning, they have been working hard to evacuate all those who have been affected by floods in their homesteads. Ms. Matsega says although they can't ascertain the number of affected families and the extent of the damage, they have provided temporary shelter to some of the affected families.
Re setse re manako ya gompieno re khonne go ka tamela matshelo a ba ileng gore gongwe malapa a bone a na tseneletswe ke metsi mme mo malapeng a go nna le batsadi bagodi bana ba ileng gore re khonne gore re ntshe dithoto tsa bone re di kopetse ko di warehouseng tsa ba ileng gore gongwe re dirisanya le bone mo toropong ba tshwana bo dikereke jalo mme re lebile gape gore re go tsamaya re dirise dingwe tsa dikolo tsa rona go tamela mangwe malapa ileng gore gongwe a amegile mo sebakeng sa gompieno jaanong mo nakong ya gompieno so se sengwe se ileng gore re se dirile ke gona gore re biditse ba tsa karolo ba ba amegang gore gongwe ka tse ileng gore ba na le tsone go ka tamela go ka leka go fokotsa metsi mo toropong ba dire jalo o ka itemogela gone gore malapa bontsi a amegileng ke a ileng gore gongwe a mo letsitsing la noka ya tatile ya ntshe jaanong se se diragala mo nakong ya gompieno ke gone gore re tsibuse batswana ba ileng gore gongwe malapa a bone baagi ba dikgaolo tse gore ba nne gone gore ba lebelele seemo gore ba ba kgone gore ba iphalotse mo bodiphatseng ja metsi a re bonang ata a le mantsi.
Still in Francistown, the Divisional Traffic Officer North Assistant Commissioner Mudisa Udzili Solomon says 3 major roads in Francistown were temporarily closed this afternoon due to heavy rains as a precautionary measure for public safety. He said the roads were not accessible to motorists or pedestrians due to the overflow where Nte and Tati rivers converge in Monarch. Bethany Mando has more.
This is Nte Junction, a road that is linking the city center with Monarch and Nte wards, and it is one of the roads that were temporarily closed in Francistown due to heavy rains. Tati River is also overflowing, and motorists as well as pedestrians were stranded as they could not cross either side. The Botswana Defense Force had to rescue the situation.
town center.
We have temporarily closed this road that is coming from the town center going to Monarch and Ntewards. We have also closed this Falana Donga road as it was not safe to use. Francistown East, a member of parliament, Mr. Tiroia Nzima, who is also the Minister of Trade and Entrepreneurship, toured the constituency to get first-hand information on the extent of damage caused to goods and properties. We expect more rains and we should take care of ourselves in these floods.
But the alternative accommodation, gore di mo discover a itela mo malapeng a mo mme ke gone go rotloetsa gape hela gore re nne kelo thoko gore metsi a eta a santsa ata ebile mme antsa mantsi a teng ke gone go ithokomela bogolo thata ba banyenyane ba ileng gore ba ka ske ba ikakanyetsa.
The Botswana Police Service is on high alert to rescue people from these ongoing floods. Bethany Mande, BTV News, Francistown.
Thank you for staying with BTV News at 9 o'clock. The police in Molaponole are investigating a case in which a man drowned in flooded Hamulele River following heavy downpours. According to Molaponole Police Station Commander Superintendent Jacob Molapong, the body of the deceased is still at Scottish Livingston Hospital, awaiting to be formally identified by his family. Thanki Sinsu reports.
The police was yesterday faced with a huge task of retrieving the man who had drowned in Khamulele River in Manuku village. According to Superintendent Malapong, the victim was suspected to be between the ages of 20 and 35 years. However, Superintendent Malapong says they ended up retrieving the victim, who was certified dead at the hospital. We have received a report of a man who had drowned in a river. The eyewitness of that incident was on his way to look for goats when he saw what looked like a person being trapped by a log in the water. After the incident was reported to us, we responded by engaging our air support team and scuba divers, who eventually managed to retrieve the victim. Superintendent says these rains continue to affect lives in the Kwening region. We also received another report of a man being swept away by the river in Mahetlu village. Fortunately, he was rescued and he is still alive and recovering. Still in the Kwening region at Hazalatladi, Khosisa Kirabanamotsi says even though Hazalatladi is known for its fishes, the rains have not caused a lot of damage as the situation is still under control in his village. However, he cautioned the residents to be on high alert as the situation could change any time. Thank you, Senso, BTV News, Hazalatladi.
The Mohoritsane Tamara Natural Disaster Committee say they remain committed and ready to ensure that they assist all those affected by heavy rains which continue to pour across the country. In an interview with BTV News, the District Commissioner Ms. Bernice Berman Musime indicated that although they experience severe damages across the district, they are still committed to ensuring that every individual affected gets the much needed assistance. Abigail Sampson has the report.
Post last week's heavy rainfalls, Gaborone and surrounding areas have been severely affected, leaving many families without shelter. Mopani being one of the villages that were hard hit by the rains, where residents are distraught and pleading for help from the public. When assessing the damages, the Member of Parliament, Ms. Manyeneng, says this assessment was carried out to report back to the National Disaster Management Office to be able to request for their assistance.
Mehela tota ke go batla go itse gore tshenyego e ntse kae gore le nna ha ke tswa ha ke ka go bona.
We are here today to assess the damage caused by the heavy rains, to understand the magnitude of damage so that I'm able to report back fully aware of the situation to the National Disaster Management Office at the Office of the President and to see how we can assist. Some, as you can see, were able to salvage what they could, and others have resorted to tents for accommodation.
Ke boela ko morago le nna ke a go bona ba bagolwane ke bo ke le semo se ke sitseng ke ska ka re gato.
It has not been easy for the residents of Mopani as they have lost their property due to heavy rains.
Go lomaganya gore re bo re bisetse disenge gore bogolo re ternelo ke diphatla tsa dipekere gona le gore re ne go atlhamela go godimo.
Everything has been damaged in the house, and I have not received any assistance. My house has been destroyed by the rains. I have nothing, but at least the council has helped me with groceries. I still have a challenge because the house has no roof and I have no shelter. The Member of Parliament visited the rest of her constituency to assess the damages and hoping for the affected families to be assisted well on time. Khorata Moranyane, BTV News, Mopani.
The Department of Meteorological Services has warned that the current heavy rains will continue to sweep across the country in the coming days until the end of the month. The Chief Meteorologist, Mr. John Sterling, however, indicated that more torrential rains are expected until April, contrary to earlier forecast made for March. Over 150 millimeters or more of rain has been recorded in some parts of the country in the last 24 hours, sparking some fresh floods in some areas, including Gaborone. In some areas, bridges have been submerged in flood waters.
Kana paka pula gantsi hela ka kgwedi ya March mme mo ngwageng o re sologela e tla hela mo kgweding ya April go a pele mme santse re soletse dipula tse di go godimo ga tsa tlwaelo go ya pele se ga se re gore ka gore re ntse re na le dipula tse dintsi ga se re gore pula itle gona tsatsi le letsatsi e tla re bo bekeng e tlang go apoge pula e hokotsege mme ha ntse re tswela gape re tsena la mo kgweding ya March re santse re soletse dipula ha re soletse pula e go godimo ga ya tlwaelo se re raya se re kgonagalo ya merwalela le yone ya oketsega
se se diragala ra ke boammaruri se na le mabapi thata le yone phetogo ya loapi ka gore tota phetogo ya loapi ya mile di-pattern tsa pula tsa rona di amile di-temperature di amile dilo ka bontsi mo loaping ke sone se le gore gompieno yana re itemogela dipula tse dintsintsi tse e leng gore tota re ne ntse re senka re nna le tsone dipula tse go ka diragala gore di hetoge ka gore tota mo kgaolong ya rona yone thata ya Botswana re na le dipula tse re di bitsang re di convective rainfalls tse e leng gore tota re di bona thata ga gona le dipula tsa di kgadima kana tse di dumang mme gompieno go be go diragala gore ka gore re na le di-easterlies tsa e le gore di khosa dipula tsone tse tsa medupe re be go diragala gore gompieno re bone kgonagalo ya pula yone ya medupe.
Business owners in Molapo Crossing Shopping Center in Gaborone were also affected by the flooding Segoditane River last night. Although the extent of the damage has not been established yet, business owners are determined to resume business. Some shops were submerged, leaving them with a lot of work to do as they had to clean up this morning. Many outlets were still closed this afternoon. Two vehicles which were swept away by the flooding two vehicles which were swept away by water from the parking lot were this morning recovered through the help of BOTSWANA Defence Force.
Maabane hela re ntse mo shopong pula ena go dira tsela gore be batho ba heta ha ba re ba bona metsi ko stopong ke be ke tswa ke re ka go bona le nna metsi ko stopong a nkopantshitse hela ha gare ga mmolo ha tla ka bokete bo bontsintsi ha se ke tla mo shopong ke re ke tlo tsa phone ke ga tsa snap ke ha a tsena le nna mo shopong tsena le mantsintsi yala re tswala mabati pressure ya metsi na bula mabati a tsena le mantsi.
Our shop is insured, but because it was a natural disaster, we're not sure if insurance is going to cover us. So we're going to try as work as fast as we can to try and reopen our shop so that we can get back to business. Fortunately, we have two shops. So as we are closing this one at the front, we operating from the shop at the back. So everybody still has their job. Nobody's going to get fired. So we'll be operating from the back until we resuscitate the shop at the front.
Next to our mall, there is one river. So water came from that direction and went inside our mall. It was too much water, then came in my shop and it damaged my stuff like TVs, ring lights, AirPods, 10 TVs, Hawaii boards, headsets. I think so around 150 to 180,000 cost. They have to dip that river, you see. They have to dip so water flow can be done. And I think so they have to make over bridge where they are river. So water will pass easily. They have to dip inside.
Tawaran Sebetlela is standing by to give us the latest in sport.
Thank you very much, Khomozo Mapani. Now, BOTSWANA Tonight Sports News follows with me, Tabuhan Sebetlela. Following the current weather condition in the country and how they have affected the proper functionality of local football clubs, BOTSWANA Football League Board of Directors has taken a decision to postpone this coming weekend's FNB Premiership League matches. According to the BFL Public Relations Officer, Musman Rapetso Swanim, particular consideration was given to the safety and well-being of players and the various football stakeholders. The new date for the postponed FNB Premiership League game shall be communicated in due course.
I can confirm to you that BOTSWANA Football League has taken a decision to emisa match week 21 yote. This is after careful consideration ya weather ya gompieno that it is not prudent to play under this kind of conditions. Mabala metsi di tse di senyegile and we cannot go on until se tokahala next week. So no team is going to be playing over this weekend. All games have been suspended owing to those reasons. Sa weather, mabala, le safety, the supportera and staff ceremony.
The senior national women's soccer team, the MES, kicked off their Women Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers Morocco 2026 journey with a 2-0 defeat to Democratic Republic of Congo this afternoon at Obed Itani Chulume Stadium in Francistown. The visitors took the lead through Lone Haofeto's own goal in the opening minute of the game. Gloria Mabomba cemented the Leopards' victory in the dying minutes of the second half to ensure that DRC wins the first leg match 2-0. The second leg of the match will be played in DRC on Wednesday. The overall winner of the two-legged match will battle it out with South Africa's Banyana for a place in the Continental Women's Soccer Showpiece finals bill for Morocco in 2026.
First, we gave away 2 goals. And then the second thing, we could have scored maybe 6-7 goals today. We created so many chances. a lot of one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but we couldn't take our chances. 2 major downfalls, giving away goals and not converting the chances.
12 players, no chance, but they do a good match, and she's so happy to go back at home with this victory.
And Botswana First Division South League Chairman Major Tebeitzile Mokwam has assured that despite the challenges faced in Week 11 due to heavy rainfall, the league will continue as scheduled in Week 12. This determination to move forward comes as some games were either not played or halted due to the unfavorable persistent rainy conditions last week. Refilo Lokore has the story.
Major Mokwa said only 3 games were played last weekend and subsequently failed to play the midweek games because of persistent rains. Currently, National First Division Management is in talks with Botswana Football Association and Botswana Police Services to assist.
We are proceeding with Week 12. In that Week 12, we have 6 games, but optimistically, we know the game A, which is supposed to play at Otse Police College, it will play. The one that we are scheduled for Tsabung, which is just at the now NTU. We also, due to the favorable weather conditions in Tsabung, the game will proceed. And currently, we've been working with Likiti and Botswana Police Service on acquiring the grounds to see that at least the other game can be played on Sunday, so that the slot on Sunday can be used at Police College. We can also have 1 game in Likiti on Sunday. And there is another slot where our supporters will bear with us. If it comes to push, we are going to be forced to play one of the games on Saturday morning at Likiti.
Furthermore, lack of sponsorship also contributes to the problem.
Issues of financial constraints, really the financial constraints are hitting hard on us in that the league does not have a sponsor currently, and this unavailability of sponsorship is really affecting even the administration a lot, in that there are private facilities around town where we could be considering getting the facilities to use for our games. We have Bank of Botswana grounds, we have the Jamal grounds in Tlokweng. So, you know, these facilities are available where you can pay and use them.
If all goes well, Week 12 games planning is as follows. City Pola welcomes Prisons 11 at Ramonaka Stadium. Desert Ngau locks with Tlokweng United at Tsabong VDC grounds, where the weather conditions are favorable. Magosi Clash joining Young Stars at VTM Arena. Police 11 and St. Diamonds will play at Otse Police College. Beverly Park will be on fireworks as Tawian Strikers takes on Holy Ghost. SSG grounds, that is scheduled for UB Hawks and Notwane, will be monitored so as to move the game to a favorable venue if the condition is not up to scratch. Refilo Lekore, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And lastly, Botswana Athletics Association President Moses Banzi says, should their bid to host the next year's World Athletics Relays become a success, it will boost the standard of local athletics at international level. Banzi noted that Botswana has been doing relatively well in the world of athletics at the international stage, something which places them on a better position to succeed in their bid. Karuso Mlelekwa follows.
Botswana has been doing well in various athletics competitions at the international stage, especially in the relays. This has motivated the Botswana Athletics Association to bid to host the Global Athletics Competition for the first time. According to the BAA president, the bid process is meant to coincide with the country celebrating its 63rd independence anniversary next year. Botswana will be celebrating 60 years of independence next year. As Botswana Athletics Association, we therefore found it fit to bid to host these relays as part of the celebrations. Furthermore, last year our team scooped a gold medal at the Bahamas World Athletics, so that also inspired us to bid for next year's relays. Apart from improving the country's status at the international level, hosting such event will leave an everlasting legacy which will benefit the country beyond the competition.
Sectors
Various stakeholders will benefit from hosting this event. Athletes, officials, broadcasters will have the opportunity to exchange knowledge and skills with international experts. As BAA leadership, we are learning a lot from this bid, a clear indication that World Athletics Relays will leave an everlasting legacy.
Administrators, gore dilo tse dingwe ga re di ele thoko mme ke tse di tlhokagala se ile gore rona mo go rona go tsile gore ha tshono gore le batabogi ba rona le mabelo a mangwe a ile gore gongwe re ntse re sa itshesala mo gone re kgone go atolosa.
Botswana has successfully hosted various international sporting events in the past, but the big question is, what should she do to win the bid to host the world's best relay teams?
You do the lobby among the World Athletics members. There is a bid committee that does, we have already had meetings with them, and after the presentation on Friday, on the 4th of March, we need to present a 15-minute video about our concept, and we should present it and or in front of those, the bid committee, plus the president of the World Athletics.
Botswana has been doing quite well in the relays. In the last edition of the World Relays in Bahamas last year, the national men's relay team was crowned 4x4 champions. This was followed by another success at last year's Olympic Games in France, where the team scooped a silver medal, an improvement from the bronze medal they won in Tokyo Olympics. As part of the assessment, the World Athletics Relay bid delegation will visit Botswana from Friday to assess the country's readiness to host 2026 relays. Kariso Molelekwa, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
From the sports desk, that's all I had for you this evening. Until we meet again tomorrow, same time. Now, back to Khomuzoma Pani to remind us of our top leading stories.
President Advocate Juma Bongo says government will continue to monitor flooding situation to save lives. Gaborone Dam full to capacity for the first time since 2017.
And FNB Premiership weekend games postponed due to bad weather.
Ntaborang Semetlela bringing us to the end of our news bulletin this Thursday evening. Up next is see you with the update BTV News Ikanyarona.
Good evening, welcome to tonight's weather forecast. I am Obageng Kaspar Matak. Yesterday, we experienced heavy downpours flooding Gaborone and the surrounding areas, causing some damage to property. As for today, there is a reduction in rainfall, but the public is still advised to be vigilant, as we are still expecting some downpours over most parts of the country in the next few days. And the following are rainfall amounts recorded this morning at 8 a.m. 160 millimeters at Mogodisane Police Station, 150 millimeters at Khale Hill Community Junior Secondary School, 140 millimeters at Tluanem Primary School, 120 millimeters at Nels Farm in Tlokwe, 100 millimeters at Gaborone Village Meteorological Headquarters, as well as in Mogodisane Khotl, 95 millimeters at Moroka Primary School, 90 millimeters at Kumakwane Primary School, 85 millimeters at Mosojane, Lakwani and Nshakashubwe Primary School, 82 millimeters at Oliphant's Drift Police, 80 millimeters at Muchudi Police Station, 75 millimeters at Lesola Tlebe Primary School, 70 millimeters at Ramokhwebana Primary School, 60 millimeters at Masunga Landfill, 58 millimeters at Ramaribana 4, 55 millimeters at Changate Primary School, 50 millimeters at Leshibitze, Nkange and Borolom Primary School, as well as in Lobatse Police Station. For other parts of the country, we recorded rainfall of 50 millimeters and less. For a full or detailed rainfall report, please visit our Facebook page or our website. Now, looking at the current satellite picture, clouds are still visible over most parts of our country. And these bluish clouds are showing developing thunderstorms, which we're expecting them to thunder or shower tonight, even into the next day. Looking into Friday, we're expecting cloudy conditions over most parts of our country, with scattered thunder showers or continuous rain in Khanzi, Central and Northeast. As for other parts of the country, we're expecting fairly widespread thunder showers or rain. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions, as this heavy downpours may cause some flash flooding in some areas of our country. In the morning, over Ngamiland, Khanzi and Kalagat district, we're expecting hot temperatures of 20 degrees Celsius. Elsewhere, we're expecting warm temperatures of 19 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, over southern southeast Katling and Kwene, we're expecting mild temperatures ranging from 24 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. Elsewhere, we're expecting warm temperatures ranging from 27 to 30 degrees Celsius. Now, for the extended forecast, looking into southern southeast Gauteng and Kwene, we're expecting cloudy conditions with fairly widespread thunder showers or rain, or continuous rain with warm afternoon temperatures. For Khanzi and Kgalagadi, still we're expecting cloudy conditions with isolated thunder showers in Kgalagadi district. As for Khanzi, we're expecting scattered thunder showers or continuous rain with warm afternoon temperatures. For Chobe and Ngamiland, still we're expecting cloudy conditions with fairly widespread thunder showers or rain with warm afternoon temperatures. Looking into Central and Northeast, on Saturday we're expecting cloudy conditions with isolated thunder showers in Northeast and Southern Central, while on Sunday we're expecting cloudy conditions with scattered thunder showers or rain with warm afternoon temperatures. That is all I have for you. Have yourself a good night.